Hey guys, Greg Alexander again today. Today I want to talk to you about spinning reels, all things spinning reels. This is more geared towards beginner or more novice fishermen, but if you're a more skilled fisherman, you may be able to pick up on a few things that maybe you didn't realize before, or maybe I can give you some justification for maybe spending a little bit more money on a reel in the future. So a spinning reel, so we understand what a spinning reel is. There's a spinning reel which looks like this with a flippable bail, and then a bait casting reel which looks like this, in case you didn't know. Everybody doesn't know, that's okay. So a spinning reel is meant to be mounted underneath of your rod, right? Underneath of your rod like this. Okay, I see people fishing like this. That's not the way it's supposed to be fished with. If you fish with it like that, when your rod bends, your line's going to end up on your rod and it can cause all kinds of trouble. So it's meant to be fished like that. So anyhow, a spinning reel, they come in all different kinds of sizes. This is an old Solstice that I bought, not an expensive reel at all. Almost a disposable reel for what I do. I think I may have paid 59 bucks for this or something several years ago. And with that 59 bucks, it got me about 2 years. And now it drags real bad. It's not smooth. Pretty much not usable for what I do. So, but spinning reels come in for freshwater, come in 4 basic sizes, and then you have saltwater versions of the spinning reels which are larger. And those sizes would be denoted by the term a size 10, 20, 30, or 40. Some call them 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Some call them 100, 200, 300, 400. Some call them 1,500, 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500. But it's basically 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what it is. 1, your 10 size, your 100 size, your 1,000 size is the smallest size spinning reel. And that would be used mostly for, 6, 8 pound test line on down for more crappie fishing, pan fishing, light line situations, small buggy whip type rods. And then you have the 200 or the 2,000 or the 20 size, which could probably handle some small bass, of a little bit larger crappie, things like that. But generally still more of a pan fishing style reel. Then you get into the 3,000 size. With the 3,000 size, I use a 3,500 or a 3,000 size for drop shotting, shaky heading, things like that, where I'm using 10 pound braid to a 6 or 8 pound leader. And then you have the 4,000 size or the 40 size, which is this size, which has a bigger spool. And I would use a 40 size for 12 or 14 or even 15 pound monofilament sometimes for like skipping a weightless Senko with a heavier rod and a heavier cover. You got a bigger reel that can handle bigger line and bigger fish. So one other thing, some people use the larger 4,000 size reel for drop shotting. But to me, you just got to put so much line on here to do what you need to do with it. It's not really an appropriate size. But using this 4,000 sized for, say, 15 pound big game, so you can skip into heavy cover with a Senko or something else to catch bigger bass, it gives you that confidence that you can get the fish out. It gives you the strength that you can get the fish out. And it also, with the bigger spool, it limits line twist. Right? The bigger the spool is, the less your line is going to curl. So the smaller the spool is, the more your line's going to curl. Now, some of the smaller spools or smaller reels, just because they're a small reel, the spool may be still a little bit larger than some other reel the same size, like a 3000 and a 30. The 3000 reel may have a little bit bigger spool than the 30. Now, something else about the spool to understand is this depth right here, from here to here. Some reels have a longer throat to it. And why would a longer throat help you out? Well, a longer throat on a spool is going to allow you to cast it further. Less resistant. It has to, it's not winding on top of itself near as much, and it will cast further. Also, a bigger spool will generally cast further if you have enough line on there. That's another big mistake that you don't want to make with a spinning reel, is you don't want to fill the spool up halfway. You want to fill it up right to where the edge starts to taper away. It comes out kind of flat here, and then it tapers away. Fill it right to the edge where it tapers. And if you let your line get down too far on the spool, it's going to be very difficult to cast. You won't have any distance whatsoever. So these all spinning reels come in left-right retrieve. So most of them come with a handle on the left side. Well, there's a little screw right here on this side that you can take off, right? And you unwind that all the way. And when I unwind that all the way, which I'm getting to here shortly, oh, here it goes. Then the handle comes out. And then you can put the handle on the other side, on the right side, and put the screw back in. I'm not going to reassemble that right now for the sake of time. So now, why would one buy? Well, let's talk about this first. The handle size. This handle is one size. Some more expensive reels, you get a longer handle with a bigger grip, a better grip, a slip-free grip, better components in it than this. So you can get all different kind of handle sizes too for your reel. So why would somebody spend $179 on a reel, a 4000 size reel, versus $59 on a 4000 reel? Well, if you're a casual fisherman and you go fishing just every once in a while, and you just want to have some equipment to go out with, a $59 reel is probably going to do you just fine. If you're a more intense fisherman, or you like to go fishing every weekend, or whenever you can, or as much as you possibly can, you can buy the $59 reel, and it will do the job for you for a period of time. But it's almost directly proportional to the longevity to the price you pay. If you go out and buy a Kmart, which doesn't even exist anymore, a Walmart $39 El Cheapo reel from Taiwan, for example, you're going to get $39 of use out of it. And if you use it a lot, you might get a year out of it. You might get a year out of it before it locks up, seizes up, tightens up on you. Or then you can go out and buy you a $79 reel, something a little bit more quality, and use it a lot, and you might get 2 years out of it. Or then you might say, well, I'm going to get me a Fluger President, just not picking on anybody, but a Fluger President. It's about a $89 or $99 reel, and you might get 3 or even 4 years out of it. Or you can go to the other end of the spectrum, and you can buy a Shimano Stella reel. Well, Shimano Stella reels, the smaller ones start at $700 and some, and some of them are $1,200 or $1,300 just for the reel. But you can expect to get pretty much a lifetime of fishing out of a Shimano Stella reel. Now I use, for my good reels anymore, I use the Lose Custom Pro. It's about $149 reel. It's got a big handle. The spool was oversized for a 3000 size. It's actually a 3500 size, but it's a 3000 size. But look how smooth. Well, I'm sorry, I just reeled some. Look how smooth that is. I let go of it, and it just keeps right on going. So it's a nice reel. It's a good middle of the road reel. So what makes this reel better than this reel? It has a bigger handle. It has better components, machined instead of cast components. It has a roller bearing at the line tie. It has more bearings in it. When I say bearings, I'm talking about a ball bearing roller inside, which can handle a lot of abuse versus cheaper reels, which many times use a bushing, which a bushing is basically just a round hole that the end of the socket goes into, and it just spins in a hole with a little bit of grease, right? So that's just going to wear out, where a bearing would be wrapped around the shaft and the ball bearing spins freely with it. So some reels claim to have 11 ball bearings in them. I don't even know where you would put 11 ball bearings in a spinning reel, but some of them claim to have 11 ball bearings. But you do need at least 4 ball bearings. You have to have 2 on the handle shaft, right? If you only put 1, then it's like that, right? 2 on the handle shaft and 2 on the level line shaft, right? 1 top, 1 bottom. That's the minimum. If it's doesn't have at least 4 ball bearings, it's probably going to wear out fairly quickly. So other things, they use magnesium components in some of these reels, which are lighter. Lighter obviously is less wear and tear on you, plus a little bit more durable than cast aluminum. They use some stainless components in them, and some of them go to the trouble of, like this Lose reel. If you look at the bottom of the spool here, there's holes in here. Well, why would they put holes in there? Well, they're just taking the weight. They're taking the weight out of the reel so it's not as heavy. So a lot more attention has been put into this reel than to this reel, while on the surface they look pretty much comparable. But it's the difference between a Chevette and a Corvette reel. One's a high quality vehicle. The other, you can't even probably find a running Chevette anywhere right now in the United States. You may find one, but there's plenty of running Corvettes still, a lot higher quality deal. So if you stick with, and now I've been fishing for a long time, and I've tried a lot of reels, and I've gone through a lot of cheap reels over the years. When I couldn't afford a more expensive reel, then I bought what I could afford. But ultimately, the investment up front is going to pay itself. This reel, $149, is probably going to last me 10 years. Okay. This reel, $59, lasts me a year. At $59 a year, 10 years at $149 is $15 a year. Okay. So really, this reel costs me 3 times as much in the long run. I'm just paying for it every year. So it's worth your while to invest a little bit. I ain't saying go out and buy a Stella or anything like that, but to buy a good quality reel. Now, if you stick with, Shimano, you stick with Lose and some of these more quality reel companies, you won't be disappointed. Put that down, I'm sorry. Another thing, when you're using spinning reels, it's very important to understand how to put the line on a spinning reel. You don't just put your spool down and wind away, or you're going to end up with a lot of twisted lines. So the generally accepted way to put line onto a spinning reel would be to take the line spool that you purchase with the tag or the label side, put the label side up, lay it right down flat, tie your line on through your first guy at least, make about 10 cranks, reach over, flip the spool over, make a couple cranks, flip it back, make 10 cranks with the spool up, flip it back over, make 2 cranks. That's the best way to put it on. And then once you put it on, I would recommend that you also purchase some line conditioner. Like Real Magic would be one particular brand of line conditioner I use on all my spinning reels that have monofilament or fluorocarbon on them. Obviously, if you have a braid main line with a leader fluorocarbon or a monofilament leader onto the braid, you're not going to have to use the Real conditioner, and you don't have to go to any great measure to put the line on if you're putting braid on your spool. Now I'm going to do another video on the proper spinning rods to go with your spinning reels, and you don't want to get mismatched rod and reel. If you get mismatched rod and reel, you're going to cause yourself problems casting. You're going to cause yourself problems breaking off. You won't be able to throw the lures that you think you'll be able to throw on them. So stay tuned for my next video coming up. If you subscribe to my channel and hit the little alert bell thing, you'll get alerts on your phone that a new video has come up, and then you can check back to see what kind of rod that you should pair with the reel that you have purchased. So if you like my videos, again, please subscribe to my channel. I will continue to bring videos on a regular basis, from tutorials and vlogs and insider information, tournament reports, and everything else that you can imagine. Again, I thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.